The bold and the beautiful September shockwaves. Will Spencer's trauma ignites a war between Katie and Bill in the brutal aftermath of that chaotic night. The walls are closing in. The Bold and the Beautiful spins into its most volatile chapter yet as the Spencer family implodes from within, igniting a vicious philosophical war between Katie Logan and Bill Spencer over how to help their son, Will. The damage is done. Will's memory may be fragmented, his emotions tangled, but what happened to him was real. Now, the question becomes, how do you deal with trauma when the truth is murky and the players are protected? Katie wants peace. Bill wants blood. And between them, their son is breaking. Katie, ever the voice of compassion, urges Will to let go. Her maternal instinct tells her that healing lies not in chasing ghosts, but in finding peace in the present. She sees how Will's obsession with finding out what truly happened to him that night is eating him alive. Every hour spent rehashing that foggy nightmare pulls him further into darkness. Katie believes the cost of revenge is too high and she doesn't want her son paying the price. Her message is clear. Let it go, Will. Forget it. Live your life. But Bill Spencer doesn't forget. And he sure as hell doesn't forgive. The moment he learns what's been done to Will, what Luna Nozawa may have done, what Sheila and Lee might be covering up, something inside Bill detonates. His instincts don't tell him to protect Will with peace. They tell him to strike first. Bill wants vengeance. He wants control. He wants to make sure no one ever touches his son again. And if that means dragging Luna through the courts, dragging Lee Finnegan's medical license through the dirt, or even exposing Grace Buckingham for whatever hand she may have had in this, then so be it. The clash between Katie and Bill over Will's future becomes a proxy war for something deeper. Katie sees Will as a boy who needs time to process trauma and reclaim his agency. Bill sees a son who must be defended by any means necessary. They're not just fighting over justice, they're fighting over who gets to shape Will's recovery. Does he become a symbol of healing? Or a weapon of retribution? Bill's way is to confront the enemy. And that means going after the core trio, Luna, Lee, and Grace. Each woman represents a piece of the conspiracy. Luna was the one in disguise, seducing Will under false pretenses after serving him the mystery cocktail. Lee, as Luna's aunt and guardian, may have covered for her from the beginning. And Grace? She has ties to both the medical community and the inner workings of the Nozawa Finnegan network. Bill smells collusion, and he's not going to let it go unpunished. He begins quietly, like he always does, gathering intel, hiring private investigators, following the money, tapping phones, flipping allies into informants. But Bill doesn't stay quiet for long. The moment he confirms Luna was at the center of what happened to Will, he's ready to blow it open. No more silence. No more subtlety. This isn't about protecting Will's name. This is about making sure the perpetrators fear the Spencer name. Katie pleads with him to stop. She sees what's coming. She knows that once Bill takes the gloves off, there's no turning back. She wants Will to focus on recovery, not revenge. But Bill doesn't see the two as mutually exclusive. In his mind, punishment is healing. Justice isn't abstract, it's real, physical, and it's coming down on whoever dared harm his son. Meanwhile, Will himself is caught in the middle. He listens to his mother tell him to let it go. He watches his father prepare for war. And deep down, he knows the truth. He wants closure, but he also wants the truth. He can't forget what he doesn't remember. The haunting fragments, flashes of a mask, the sound of music, the scent of perfume drove him to the brink. Something was done to him. Something intimate and violating. And the longer no one is held accountable, the more he feels like a ghost in his own life. As September approaches, the temperature in town rises. Bill's campaign begins quietly, but the ripples spread fast. First, Lee Finnegan starts getting strange case investigations into her medical records, quiet audits of her licenses, whispered accusations about patient manipulation and obstruction. Then Grace receives anonymous tips warning her to distance herself from Luna or face scrutiny over past ethical breaches. Luna, already spiraling from guilt and paranoia, finds herself cornered. Every move she makes is watched. Every friend she confides in grows colder. And then come the threats. Bill doesn't make idle threats. When he says he's going to bring someone down, he means it. The first real blow comes when Luna's private involvement with Will is leaked first to a gossip blogger, then to the press. The headlines explode. Spencer are drugged and seduced. Mystery Night rocks Los Angeles elite. The fallout is immediate. Luna is humiliated. Lee is professionally compromised. Grace is warned she could lose her career if she stays involved. And still, Bill isn't done. Behind closed doors, he tells Katie that this is just the beginning. That what happened to Will isn't just an isolated crime, it's a message. And he intends to send one back. Katie, horrified, realizes Bill is no longer thinking rationally. He's consumed. She sees the fire in his eyes, same fire that made him one of the most ruthless power players in the city. But this time, it's not about business. It's about blood. The legal system won't be enough. The reputational damage won't be enough. Bill wants them to fear him. And if that means manipulating the courts, pulling favors with judges, or setting up Luna for a public downfall, he'll do it. And then the town starts to whisper, is someone going to die? Because when Bill Spencer goes this far, someone usually pays in full. Luna is unstable. Lee is backed into a corner. Grace is losing control. And Will, the boy they all claim to care about, is losing himself in the storm. All it would take is one sleepony wrong encounter, one unhinged decision, and tragedy could strike. September looms, and with it, the scent of death hangs over Los Angeles. Could Luna finally snap and take her own life or someone else's? Could Lee, desperate to protect her niece and her legacy, go to extreme lengths to silence the threat? Could Bill push too hard, only to lose the very son he's trying to save? Or could Katie, fed up with the endless warpath, make a choice that turns the tide forever? The bold and the beautiful is no stranger to shocking deaths, and the stakes have never been higher. As Bill tightens the noose and Katie struggles to keep her family from falling apart, September could bring more than just courtroom battles and media firestorms. It could bring a body count. Will Spencer's trauma is the match. The town is the fuse. And Bill Spencer, he's the fire. This isn't just a family feud. It's a declaration of war. And before the leaves turn, someone might not live to see October. The bold and the beautiful after the fire. The deaths of Lee and Luna shatter LA. And Sheila faces the end. It starts with a scream. A piercing, guttural sound that rips through the silence of the Finnegan home. When the authorities arrive, they find two buddy Yasley Finnegan and Luna Nozawabat dead. One in the living room, one in the garden. Blood on the hardwood floor. Broken glass. A half-written note clutched in Luna's hand. And just like that, the war Bill Spencer began explodes into its most devastating chapter. The city recoils. The headlines are merciless. Murder-suicide in the Finnegan house. 2 women dead in Spencer scandal fallout. For once, no one is safe. Rumors swirl like wildfire. Did Luna take her own life after cracking under pressure from the ongoing investigation and the public humiliation? Did Lee try to stop her, only to become collateral damage? Or was this something darker, something premeditated? Bill Spencer sees the headlines and doesn't blink. But inside, he's burning. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. He wanted justice, not death. He wanted public accountability at corpses. But now that the storm he summoned has turned fatal, there's no putting it back in the bottle. And someone is watching from the shadows, gripped with fear. Sheila Carter. Sheila knows the truth. She's always known. She was there that night, in the corner, silent, watching. She knew Luna was going to drug Will. She didn't stop it. In fact, some whisper she helped with just a suggestion here, a shrug there, letting Luna believe it was harmless. A little nudge toward disaster. And now 2 women are dead. Lee, her longtime enemy, the woman who treated her like garbage, who tried to keep her from Finn, who tried to erase her from the family tree. And Luna, her granddaughter by blood, a girl she could never fully understand, who looked at her with both admiration and unease. They're both gone. And Sheila, still standing, is suddenly afraid for her life. Because Bill Spencer is unpredictable, ruthless, dangerous, and now he's unhinged. Sheila starts to spiral. She goes back over every move she made, every word she whispered, every moment she looked away. What if Bill finds out she was part of it? What if he already knows? What if she's next? She starts seeing his shadow in every corner. Is that his car parked outside the cafe? Was that his voice in the elevator? She begins to unravel and be erratic, paranoid. Deacon notices the change immediately. He asks what's wrong. She won't say, but the fear is in her eyes. Not of the police, not of public exposure, but of Bill. Because Bill doesn't forgive, and he doesn't forget. Katie tries to hold him back. She pleads with him again to stop. 2 people are dead. Hasn't this gone far enough? But Bill's not finished. In his mind, Luna's actions were the disease. Lee was the enabler. But Sheila was the architect. She knew. She allowed it. Maybe she even pushed it. And now 2 women are in the ground and Will's still scarred. Someone has to pay. Sheila begins to plan her exit. Quietly, carefully. She starts selling assets, liquidating funds. She talks to contacts overseas. Disappearing is her specialty. She's done it before. But this time, it feels final. She knows the wrath of a grieving father. She's seen what Bill can do to enemies. And this time, she's not the unstoppable force. She's the target. But there's one person she hasn't counted on. Finn. The death of his mother and cousin shatters Finn's world. His guilt consumes him. He dismissed Lee when she tried to tell him the truth. He ignored the signs. He avoided responsibility. Now, he's standing over a grave with no answers and too many regrets. And then the whispers reach him about Sheila, about what she knew, about what she didn't do. Finn turns on her. For the first time since her return into his life, he pulls away. He confronts her. What did you do, Sheila? She tries to lie, but she's rattled. She stammers. And Finn sees it. The truth. The betrayal. He tells her to stay away. From him. From his family. From his son. Sheila, isolated, afraid, and now abandoned by the only family who ever gave her a second chance, starts to spiral even further. Deacon tries to ground her, but she pulls away. You don't understand, she whispers. He's going to come for me. He won't stop. And then it happens. One night, outside Deacon's bar, a black car slows near the alley. Sheila flinches. She ducks. But the car keeps going. No one's there. She laughs nervously, but her hands are shaking. The fear is real. The countdown has begun. Because if Bill Spencer finds proof that Sheila Carter was the one who let Luna slip that drug into Will's drink, there will be no courtroom. There will be no press release. There will be revenge. Swift, silent, final. Now Sheila has 2 choices, run or fight. And she's never been one to run. But this time, even Sheila Carter may have finally gone too far. As the bold and the beautiful marches through September, death hangs in the air, and the line between justice and vengeance is gone. Bill Spencer started this war to protect his son. But now that blood has been spilled, and the target is Sheila Carter, there's no telling who will survive the endgame.